meals by myself, worked with Hands of Hope, and then in 2018, January 2018, the young lady in the rental office, the assistant manager, got fired. So Mr. Curtis called me, and he knew I was back and forth, working with Hands of Hope, so I didn't really have a job. So he called, he said, do you want to take this temp position that's as assistant manager in the rental office? So I said, sure. At the same time, I got a call from Anne Arundel County Public Schools to be the community ambassador, which I would be over Newtowne and Woodside. And also I had Robinwood, and I had some people in Bywoods. So got to be a community ambassador. So I was doing both of those at the same time. So I did the temp position inside the rental office. I was there for 2 weeks. The new manager that came in, she fell and bumped her head in the office. She had a seizure, fell, bumped her head. Left me in the office by myself, so I'm a temp. So I'm left in the office by myself. So was in that position right there by myself until a couple more months. And then they found the assistant property manager to take over. He took over. Once that position closed, another young man that was doing the groundsman, he got fired. So the temp agency called and they said, well, we filled that position for assistant property manager, but you have someone else that just lost another position as the groundsman. So I immediately said, I'll take that position too. I just wanted to stay in Woodside. That was one of the most, besides cleaning toilets, when I did some work doing housekeeping and stuff like that, my most rewarding job was cleaning up the grounds in Woodside. I got to interact with the people on a daily basis. I got to clean up what people don't like to clean up, that makes the community look bad. So it was rewarding to me. So fast forward to get ready for the pantry. We were getting salt out of the building 709, which is where the pantry originally was. So we were getting salt out of there. And I said, oh, this could be a pantry. So he was like, the maintenance supervisor said, you're not gonna take my pantry. He said, no, you're not gonna take my storage area. I said, watch. So I ended up taking that space, and I was still a temp at Woodside. So I would go to the Dollar Tree every week that I got paid from the temp agency, and I would buy food to put in the pantry. I posted it. I didn't post it, I bought it. I just posted the stuff for the pantry. And so Lori Nelson from EP Church, she saw it because she works with Homework Haven. She saw it, and then she came in and brought a whole bunch of stuff that filled the pantry. So the original plan I had was to feed the whole Newtowne. And I was gonna do that if it was just a Dollar Tree. So I always say I sowed the first seed into it. And that's what the word tells you. So that's what I did. Lori Nelson, she came in and she started helping with the pantry. We posted those pictures, and then Downtown Hope pitched in. They did a Sunday morning service, and they had the service, and then the next Sunday, it was like 3 different vans pulled up with all of this food. So our pantry was full. So now come to Unitarian. Mr. Darrel has always been a blessing to Woodside, has been there for years, has still had relationships with the children that he's mentored. During the pandemic, the only program that I was allowed to run was the pantry because it was essential. So what we would do, we would bring the food from 709 in front of 703, which is now my office, because, I missed out something, I'm sorry. So Mr. Curtis, who was the resident service coordinator, he got fired. Well, no, he gave his termination. He gave him his resignation. And so before he left, he had asked me to do some odd things for him in the office or whatever. But once he left, I was asked to take the position for resident services. At that time, I was full-time at Annapolis Senior High as a community ambassador. So, I was like trying to weigh it because I still wanted to be able to do what I did in Woodside, not working for the company. So with the pantry that I had just started while I was just a volunteer in the community, the girls group that I had 22 girls in the community. So I wanted to make sure that me taking a position with Woodside was not going to affect me doing my work with the rest of the stuff in the community, which didn't. So the pantry is not federally funded. It came from charitable donations from one person, and it just kept on and kept on growing. And then in the pandemic, because it was the only program we were allowed to run, it just got huge. The reason we couldn't get Maryland Food Bank or any other federal funding is because in a 6-mile radius, you have several other pantries within the city of Annapolis. So we didn't qualify for it. Not to mention our space wasn't up to standard anyway to probably pass the inspection for it. So because that was the only thing that we were able to do, Mr. Darrel started dropping stuff off to the pantry while we were outside, coming over and helping give out food and stuff like that. And then what happened was everybody started giving. And it seemed like everything that people would say, do you have this or do you have that? We would get that in donations. Started working with Mr. Don. He brings stuff to us every single week, or he was providing, having the tubs out back for me to come and pick up. And the most exciting thing that I see is that every single time I question whether or not I'm still supposed to be in Woodside Gardens, something comes in that a resident has asked for. And it might be something as simple as beets. It started off as beets. One of the older ladies, she kept asking about beets, and I said, no, we don't. And then all of a sudden, Unitarian comes along and starts helping provide the stuff for us, and we pull out the bag, and there's beets in there. And I'm telling you, at this time, I was in a place where I'm questioning if I'm still supposed to be in Woodside or not. So it was something as small as that kept me encouraged. Then the next week, a lady asked for number 8 spaghetti noodles. Didn't know that spaghetti noodles had numbers on them. So the next week come, and we had 3 or 4 boxes of number 8 spaghetti noodles. And it seems like every single time someone would ask for something, that's what we get. It's been a blessing to us because when you get stuff from Maryland Food Bank, you may get a whole bunch of stuff that people don't use. So they'll go to, people make the bags for them. But because of your charitable donations, every single, and I'm gonna get choked up, because it's been a blessing, and I thank you. And I tell Mr. Don all the time, just saying thank you isn't enough. Because I want you all to know that the people in Woodside Gardens are really, really thankful each and every week for what you all give and your contribution. Because it's not them hoarding anything, it's not them having to beg for something and then not taking advantage of it. They are truly grateful for the food that we get each and every week. The food that we get in the pantry is stuff that they would go to the grocery store and buy themselves, not just something someone throws in a bag and gives to them. So it's been a blessing to us because of all your help. Each and every week, we have pantry 2 days a week from 11:45 to 2:45. I broke my ankle back in December, and the pantry had to sit for a couple of weeks. So we had a whole bunch of stuff. As soon as we opened the doors, we got everything cleared up out of there and stuff like that. So people are using it. And like I said, they are blessed because you all have been a blessing to continue to keep on pouring into Woodside Gardens. And I thank you.
Yeah, let me use it. Let me get it wireless. You made me cry, bro.
So in saying all of that, I was just wanting to share with you, when I shared about my history, was just showing you how God aligned the steps for me to be back in there, and then how it seems, I know that I'm on assignment there. And it's been because of you all who helps me continue to be there, and that this assignment is being fulfilled each and every day. So I thank y'all for that.
So I want to give people an opportunity to ask questions.